Tonight, North Carolina's U.S. Senator Tom Tillis says he is drawing a line against what he calls political pressure on the Federal Reserve.
2 Wants to Know's Ben Briscoe explains how it could impact your wallet.
The Federal Reserve's main goal is to balance two big tasks: keeping the job market strong and keeping inflation in check. Now, to do that effectively, Congress decided decades ago that the Fed should operate independently from politics, so it can focus on long-term economic stability without short-term pressure to push interest rates up or down for political gain. Since January, President Donald Trump has repeatedly called on the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates faster, arguing lower interest rates would boost economic growth and reduce borrowing costs for Americans. The president has also openly criticized his own Fed chair appointment, Jerome Powell, for not lowering rates faster.
And now we have a man that just refuses to lower the Fed rate, just refuses to do it. And he's not a smart person.
The tension escalated this weekend when the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell disclosed that the Department of Justice served him with grand jury subpoenas, threatening a criminal indictment tied to testimony he gave before Congress last year. That testimony involved a renovation project of historic Federal Reserve buildings. But Powell says the subpoenas should be viewed in a much broader context.
The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president. This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation.
The situation prompted a strong response from Senator Tom Tillis. In a written statement, Tillis said, if there were any remaining doubt whether advisors within the Trump administration are actively pushing to end the independence of the Federal Reserve, there should be none. It is now the independence and credibility of the Department of Justice that are in question. Tillis says he will oppose the confirmation of any Federal Reserve nominee, including the next Fed chair, until the legal matter surrounding Powell is resolved. The Senate Banking Committee is narrowly divided, with 13 Republicans and 11 Democrats. Tillis' opposition alone could make it difficult for President Trump to replace Powell, setting the stage for a high-stakes fight over who controls the nation's interest rates. Ben Briscoe, 2 Wants to Know.